Alrighty, we are live. Do a build. We got very lucky. The package arrived New Year's Eve, so now I can actually build some ring lights. We'll see if they're any good. Let's see. I suppose we should turn on the face camera just for today. Let's see. Is it hideous? It's fine. We'll live. Yep, we'll live. You guys can tolerate that. How's it going there? Grass puddle, looks like you're the only one that's showing up. I suppose it is a little bit out of bound. Hey, pro engineer. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Okay, so we'll just get down to why we're doing this anyway. Now, as you know, for a long time I've been using the direct ring style, and that's been perfectly fine. But yeah, there is a problem, so to speak, where because the lights are directly above the board, you do tend to have a bit of a washout effect with higher brightnesses. And if your microscope camera doesn't work on low light, then it sort of feels a bit blown out. So we took another step, and we, after a few things, we went for rear mount lights, which do give a very nice sort of backlight, natural looking backlight effect. But I was doing an Xbox the other day, and it required a lot of trace rebuilding, and it really demonstrated to me why this has its own problems as well. And it is a problem that I mentioned with anybody, when everybody be saying, oh, you should use, those gooseneck lights from the back and things like that, because, Soren or Northwest has them, and it looks really good. And it does look really good when you are working just on a flat surface like this. We'll demonstrate what's going on. Hey, Sylvia, Alclove, Neo, MC Rams, hey, Magic Repair, Martin. So when you're working on like this sort of flat board situation, it does look really nice having the top sort of mounted light, so it feels very natural. But I was doing an HDMI port repair, and it became a real pain because of this sort of effect. You get the shadowing. It's not quite so bad on this one because it isn't as high, but this shadowing means you can't get in there and see what's really going on, particularly at higher brightnesses when you have a bit of a strong contrast between the shadow and the light. And it was quite annoying. I couldn't see what I was doing properly and things like that. And I was like, yep, this is why while I like the look that the rear mounted light does give under normal circumstances, when it comes to working on this side of a fairly tall block, it's impossible to do it properly, nicely. So naturally we decide, okay, well, what can you do if these ones produce too much overhead, sort of washout, and these ones produce too much shadow on the rear? So what do? You merge them together, and you end up with these sort of ring lights. And we're going to come out, and you can have a look what I've done. Although most of you already know what I've done. A 777, a Raj. Come on. There we go. So what we're going to try here is we've got 3 channels of LEDs on the back here, but we've also got 1 channel on the front that allows you to sort of like fill in those shadowed areas. And I will also try and reduce the tilt angle that I've been mounting these at, just to bring it back up a little bit. And hopefully we can get a compromise that works all around, or we could end up with a situation where nothing works well and we just throw it all in the bin. Hey Miles, Arilla, where do I buy? It's not yet for sale, this particular one. I haven't really been selling these ring lights for a while now, simply because I want to see if this particular incarnation works. So we're going to get the leaded paste, do one, and hopefully it feels better than this sort of one that we're running right now. This is going to actually be a pain to stencil, because you've got the bulk of the paste needs to be here, but then you've also got this up here, and I don't really want to run across the void here with the squeegee because it tends to sink because I haven't got a filler. Yeah, this is just a one-off prototype, so there's no point me going all crazy with with better silks screen printing of the paste at this point. That probably should get me out of trouble or get me in trouble, I'm not sure which. Need a tester. I'll tell you what, I've got quite a lot of spares. A Martin hammer. So even though it is a prototype, I did get the stencil done. I do like having stencils done, particularly for this sort of work. I have another board coming for a USB type C meter, but for DC power supplies, and I didn't do a stencil for that because it's definitely going to be just a manual job. Also, because this is an aluminium board, you really do need to stencil paste it. You can't easily hand solder these ones, I'm sorry to say. The aluminium will just sucks the heat out of the iron no matter what you try to do. Alright, we've got paste that's 2-3 weeks old. Guess I better get rid of that. Thank you, Miles. Hey, Tom. So we'll just scrape off this good paste, but old. You definitely have to accept and get used to throwing away paste. It's painful at times, but you really do need to do it. You start trying to save paste, like save $1 or $2, then it ends up ruining a lot more. Okay, that sounds clean to me. So we'll do this in 2 processes. I'm going to put the main strip here, get that done. And I'll just put a little dollop there. It doesn't really matter if those LEDs don't get a huge amount of paste on them, because believe me, it doesn't really need them. It doesn't really need a lot. Okay, that's done. And that's done. Nice and easy. Now the real trick is getting it off without ruining it. There we go. Marvelous. Get out our parts. The LED strip board. Oh, crikey, we need our LEDs. One modification I did make to this board, which I haven't tried out before, is to bring the navigator switch in more. I'm hoping it might help in prevent people breaking it. I haven't had too many people break it, but there's a few people who have, and I kind of want to eliminate that happening too often. Okay, I just got to get my LEDs. You watch, I'm going to be one LED short. What's the local time? 11:30, 11:40. Oh, from Liverpool. Welcome. We don't need any more paste. So we get a bit more of a zoom in here. Okay, pretty sure this is the way I want it. You running? Yep. Just seemed very silent to me. Okay, validate. Yep. Now I'm hoping I've got my ratios right in that 1/4 of the LEDs being up the front should provide enough infill without making it too bright. This is the Ringlight. This is, yeah, hey Mad Tacky, this is like Ringlight version 27. Putting them around the curve is not so easy. There we go. Get that out of here. Cool, blimey, I need better eyesight. Right. Wow. Someone's had too much coffee. I had 2 coffees today already. Well, they're half coffees, but still 2 of them. And so I'm a little bit skippy on my wrist. Sort of like, it's like watching Toy Story when the old dude comes in to repair Woody. And I sit there and I'm like, then you wait for the right moment, then you just jab it down. Okay, that's now ready to go onto the hot top. Hydration, well, yes, I have my, I don't know if you can see it, but I have my water bottle with me. Oh, I just realized this is not going to fit so cleanly. Interesting. Normally I do these in the oven, But, oh well, it's okay, it's not a big problem. The very nice thing about the aluminium board, of course, is that it really does get the heat out and around. I might actually bias it more this way. Put the extractor on. Are the felines behaving? Yeah, moderately. They could always behave better. They could always behave better. There we are. Hydration. This is not the ideal way to cook these boards, but because it's just we're prototyping, it doesn't matter. Hey Hot Cows, how's it going? And Claw Slug. Nice to see people that I normally chat to in other streams showing up. Just past 110 Celsius. Hey Andy, what are you doing up this late? Welcome. Sorry I haven't been able to stick around in your streams for long, Andy. It's just there's a bunch of stuff that goes on here at night, and I sort of pop in, say hello, drop some abuse, and then run. Okay, 160, we should start, yeah, we're starting to smoke up now. Okay, yep, they're all reflowing. The big problem with this technique is that there's a lot of overshoot on the heat, so basically everything reflows, but the heat just still keeps coming in rather than normally. Once you reflow within about 10-15 seconds, you normally drop the temperature and flush everything out. You can't really do it very reliably on a hot plate like this. It just wasn't quite sitting how I wanted. And so what starts happening is the flux is now starting to burn a bit. So we'll actually get that off. If I can. It's a bit precarious because it is still molten. Hey Greg, welcome. Alright, let's have a look at this one. Now obviously this is going to be still fairly warm. This is what I mean by you don't have to worry about not getting enough flux. Sorry, not getting enough paste on the LEDs. Wow, that is seriously overblown. There we go. There's almost always too much for the LEDs. I really do need to change the solder paste footprint for these and yeah, make them about half the size that they currently are, because it is just wasteful. It also means they won't pull into alignment as perfectly because they just sit there and float on top of the pool of solder. I mean, look at that one. Free solder balls. What the hell? Okay. That's not critical, but it's annoying. At least all these ones are good. Yeah, we're gonna have to fix that up. That's annoying. Okay, that's some solid J5 cent work there. We're going to fix it up though. It really actually wouldn't have mattered that much about this part. It's just a general decoupler. Need more frickin' air. And this is why you have to do it on hot plate, because yeah, there's just so much energy being sucked up. God damn it. Ah! Oh no! Did that one for you, Andy. Did that one for you. Now I've got poop stains on my board. Oh no, look, it actually did break the conformal coat, the cover. It's okay, it's just exposing a bit of copper. Okay, next step, we've got to program this thing. Ah, come on, man. That's weird. There's no light showing up there. Why is there no light? Yeah, there's no light because someone disconnected it. Due to budget constraints, the light at the end of the tunnel has been turned off. Okay. Always forget which frickin' pin's UPDI. Whose bright idea was it to make D-message in Linux USB 3 require pseudo writes now? I mean, really, that's so annoying. I suppose it's something I should be able to just... It should just be something I override, but it catches me out every time. Yeah. What's going on? Okay, what's the matter? Let's check our rails. Something is not happy. No short there. Okay, that's to be expected. There's no short. Yeah, I know you can override. It's just annoying that they even... it's one of those things where you keep forgetting to get around to overriding this stuff. Okay. It should flash that within 3 seconds, and it's not doing that. Hope that I got the UPDI ones right. Be hilarious if I completely stuffed up the pro. Okay, it's a 212. Let's see. I'm just going to verify that I actually do have the pins in the right places. It's not something that I changed though in the design. No, that's, as far as I know, that's the right place for it. Yep. Hey, Ryan Labs. So all I can think of is I've done something wrong. Just pull the programmer off, put the programmer back on. Still on USB 3. Geez, Ryan Labs, that X-ray machine. Yeah, that's some serious gear. You and Tim Herman, honestly. You guys getting into the crazy stuff. Crazy dangerous stuff. Oh, really? Now you've gone. It's starting to get ticked off here now. No, it's definitely USB-C 3. Yeah, maybe my pins are a bit dirty or something. Ah, finally, it was just rotten bad luck trying to steal my confidence from me. Okay, we're going to lose something here. We'll go back to above. Okay, so we have power coming out of this now. So this is either going to go up in flames or it's not. Oh, it's bright. Yep, okay, we've got all lights intact. That's full brightness. Minimum brightness. It's a frickin' Christmas star. Yep, okay. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to... No, I'm not going to use that bracket. I'm going to use... See, the Are they the same? This bracket is definitely more severe in its angle than this one. It's about 5 degrees difference. We'll start with this one here. Now, if I got my design right, I shouldn't have to actually... Oh, wow, come on, Paul. Good thing I'm not doing any actual repairs today because my hand is all over the place. Hey, Fix 43. Yes, that's right, Grass Puddle. Do not look into the light with your remaining eye. Okay, here we go. I really hope this works reasonably well. I'm not expecting absolute perfection, but perfection would be good. Ah, these damn screws not being magnetic. Would look nice. Like, yeah, yeah. I'm thinking I've got so many of these lights. I pretty much could rig up my room with them now. In next week's wetsuit, you should add a balance control. Ah, yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean about balance control, you know, being able to move back and forth. And I've thought about it, but it just... The trouble is it starts adding too much expense and complexity. It kind of robs the system of its sort of simplicity, as it were. The purity of its simplicity. Alright. Alright, well, this is the proof of the pudding, so to speak. Proof is in the pudding. Let's see how it looks with that HDMI. There we go. Well, I think that's a pretty good win. You can actually... killed the moment. I feel like that is a pretty tolerable win. So it is a little bit in shadow, but it's not completely. You can actually work with that. I can, like, as a user, I can see enough there that I can work on those traces, and the board itself still remains quite clear. It doesn't have that, what do you call it, the washout. Like, the writing still shows up just fine. So I gotta say, this is actually looking good. Hey, Daniel Cahoon. Let's get a MacBook board, because that obviously is my domain, rather than filthy PC ones. Okay, the domain of MacBooks. So I feel like that's pretty good. Yeah. So there is a little bit of washout on the board itself. Okay, maximum brightness. We're at maximum there. And we go minimum. Come on, man. That's minimum brightness. And I would probably... I'm sort of comfortable there with my own personal vision. Let's see how we go when we really zoom in. Go maximum zoom. So this is if you're doing iPhones. And go maximum brightness. Okay. From my viewpoint, it's perfectly bright here. My camera on the microscope, it's good enough. It probably could come up one notch of brightness, but overall it's pretty good. Certainly by the time you back out to that, it's perfectly bright. So I think we've really solved this one. I feel like it does actually give me the compromise I wanted, whereby you do get the nice, more natural type lighting, but you also don't get the shadows. Good enough for the government worker, I do. Yeah, that Yeah, definitely. I'm genuinely cheerful about this one. I feel like this I really could have done with this the other day when I was working on that Xbox. All the traces pulled up. This here is gold. Now I just have to quickly make 10,000 of them and apologize to all the people who bought the earlier versions, because they'll be like, what? Now we've got dodgy gear. We want better gear. We got a win. It is a win. Perfect for the last day of the year. 4K res. I do have, this is a 4K res camera, but I downscale it to 1080. The only reason I got this camera is because it did 60 frames per second at 1080, which is what I wanted. I don't really want the 4K res, I want the 60 frames per second. It's a win. So I only took like 20 revisions. Let's put a heat sink on it and see how it goes. We'll pop this one off if I can without breaking it. And I think this particular angle is the better angle. Not really a lot of heat up this top side, which is to be expected because we've only got the 7 LEDs compared to the 21 down here. So if we put the heat sink over here, it'll be fine. Now, getting these heat sinks off is hard because the adhesive I use, which is just tape, really likes to hold on. Will it be more expensive? No, it's the same price. That's the nice thing. It actually has the same component count for everything. It's just redistributed. So I would definitely say that's better than the rear gooseneck lights, absolutely, without a question. I feel confident that I can actually advertise this and say, this is better than the goosenecks. Better than the anti-glare BS that I hear being pushed around. Yeah, this tape is definitely very tricky to get off. It does a fantastic job, this tape. It could be because of the bitrate, Antonio. Okay, finally. Hey, D. Morris. Okay. Do not try to use, with this tape, do not try to use alcohol to actually dissolve it off initially. It just turns into this disgusting white goo. Once you've got it this far, then you can do the cleanup. But if you try to wick alcohol underneath it to displace it originally, it does not work well. It does not work well. I tried. Sing for me, little heatsink. Sing for me. Okay, so that's nice and clean. These should be clean, but we'll give it a wipe down anyway. And now we'll get the adhesive thermal transfer tape. Yeah, this is very good stuff. To be fair, look, I'll admit I don't know what the actual thermal transmissivity is on it. I just assume it's pretty good. Because it's very thin, it helps a lot. That's it. It's stuck. Like I said, it's not going to come off anytime soon. You don't need to bolt it or anything like that, particularly not with the small heatsink. If you want to go crazy, you could do something like this is a 6mm thick one, finned one, slotted as well. You could go 10mm or even 15, 20mm. There's plenty of room there if you want to go crazy with keeping the temperatures under control. I mean, obviously the amount of heat it's generating doesn't change, but at least it keeps it a little bit further away from the LEDs. Let's put that back on. It's going to run at a maximum brightness. Okay. The flashing is intentional. That lets you know it's kind of like a engine rev limiter. It starts making noises, or in this case, visually flashing when you hit the limit. Do the fingernail crazy drummy tappy thing. Wait, you took what? No. Who does that? Yeah, you can definitely see it's a bit washed out at maximum, but once you back off to that, it's perfect. See some shiny chips. Look at that. You don't even get blinded by the shiny chips. Let's see if we can find the ISL 924. This one here. Yeah, no problem reading what's on that. Beautiful. I can keep my finger on... I'm holding my fingers on the aluminium for the front. There's no problem at all. It's probably registering around about 44, something like that. And now at the back... Again, I can hold my finger completely on the back of the aluminium without burning myself at all. It's fine. Did the schematics for 2941 come out? I don't know yet. What board is that? Because I don't know. I have been so busy with working on Flexboard View improvements. There's a lot of stuff that's going to come out, which I think people are going to be happy about. But I haven't had a chance to really be involved with capturing more board view files. We've been pretty good lately because of the fact that we have we're able to now get all the XZZ stuff. It kind of makes life a little bit easier, because prior to reverse engineering the file format, we were locked out of most things. Like in the Rossmann type era, we were able to periodically get the board views and schematics pretty easily. But in the last 2 or 3 years, most of those board views and schematics don't make it out into the public. Instead, they get locked into the various repair product software suites that are out there, the online-only subscription-type ones. And we were noticing it. We were getting less and less board views. We were having to beg and trade in some big favors to get our hands on the various board view files and schematics. But for now, at least, we've turned the tables and we're able to get access to these files as quick as they do. Essentially, once they've got them, we've got them. It's a little bit naughty, but quite frankly, I don't feel too bad about it, because of the fact that it's stuff that used to go out to the open public, but they're deliberately constraining supply in order to make you spend money on their subscription services. Board view is available. It's on bad caps. Oh, thanks, Moles. Oh, ladies do it all the time with their long, sharp finger. Why has that been locked down? Yeah, show. Sorry, Daniel. That was perfectly formidable. Let's see. I think you reduced the maximum bright. I reduce the maximum current that would be permitted to go through the controller as well. It sort of went from, I think the maximum was 150 for the LEDs, and I brought it down to about 130. So it's a little less than 10%, a little more than 10% reduction. You really just don't notice it. You really don't. It's not a problem, and at least it gives the LEDs better longevity. Daniel, so is Daniel your first name? Because it's kind of hilarious. I get way too many people calling me Daniel, and it gets to the point where it's a bit annoying, because like, what is Paul? I know Paul is a very plain, simple name. I do have my middle name, although it's my father's name. But it's just so funny how people see Daniels and still call me Daniel, and it's like, but these are the things you live with in life. Be back later. Okay, Ryan, I might not be. I think I'm about done here. I've got other stuff I've got to get done. But I'm not going to lie, I am actually really chuffed at how well this has worked out. So my guesstimation of going for the 1/4 of the LEDs up front to compensate for the shadow, it's a great way to finish the year. It's good to finally have it all where I wanted. It's so much so that I don't even need to have the front-back balancing done, I don't think. I feel like it's good as it is, and you don't even need to polarize it. Oh, that's what I wanted to check. Let's see what it's like when you actually put a bunch of flux on there and see how, because that's usually where people get upset. But yeah, it's a lot of work. I think it's about 2.5 years now I've been working on this. And it's not that it hasn't been good before, it's just a case of it just keeps getting better. Let's just blast away some unwanted dust. And I do feel like this is now the one where I can definitely go out and start promoting it like hell. And yeah, it's a lot of long, hard work. Maybe not hard work, but it's a lot of work in terms of have to be patient. Yeah, in no way am I being blinded at all by any of that flux. That's perfect. It really, really is perfect. I'm almost to the point of tears, because like I said, it's been such a long time from when I started doing these ring lights to now. The inductor has seen better days, especially since I touched it. So we can have a revision of all the ones I've done before, because everyone's like, oh no, not this again. I don't even know where they are. I swear I had a box with all my hideous revisions over the years. Maybe I've locked it away, so nobody shall ever see this again. Nope, can't find them. They're probably in the back shed, because I, just decided, that's it, I've done enough. Yep. So I guess the question now for me is, do I actually bother to genuinely go commercial again with this? Or, do I just be happy the fact that I personally now have a ring light that I'm really, really, really happy with, and deprive everybody else with the opportunity to do so? I feel bad about the people who, about people who bought the previous versions, even though the previous versions actually also, like this sort of one, these solved a lot of problems that we were having with ring lights. One, the color quality, like the CRI, the color rating index, was terrible on most of the existing models that you find out there. And so, we bought that right up to 97 CRI, which definitely helps with the coloring. The other problem it solved was with the hot air wand. With the previous LEDs, ring lights, they're out this far, so you've got to really come in at a shallow angle with your hot air wand. Whereas with these ones, you can come in far more vertical. So that was the other problem that solved. They were the two main things that led me on this journey: the poor color quality and the fact that I couldn't get in at a reasonable angle with the hot air wand. Everything beyond there has been improvements, just simply because I felt like, I want to make that a bit better. Ryan Labs, which one have you got? Because I got the AmScope 144, and I thought it was great initially, but now if I go back to it, I'd probably be terrified. Definitely iterative work. This is probably around about revision, I'd say about 20, somewhere between 15 and 20 revisions. I wish I could just find the original one. I don't know where I'll put it. It's definitely outside somewhere. But the original one was just a little, it was nothing more than just a little circular black ring, and it just had LEDs on it. That's it. And I had fly wires coming off it, and I was powering it off the DC power supply. And then after a few more revisions, I came up with the controller and everything else, and so on and so forth. The other thing that I've solved on this new one is, like I said, I put the navigator switch back a bit so that it hopefully will there's less leverage moment or mechanical moment, mechanical leverage if you push it the wrong way, because the board now holds the bottom of this plastic bracket, so it's a little bit less likely that you're going to break it off in an accident. We all buy products that get revisions later. It is, it's just, like I said, I feel slightly off about it, but it's in my prototype. Oh yeah, it's out in the shed somewhere. Just hope the price of the components will not go to... The price is not going to change. It will still be $79 US dollars delivered anywhere in the world. And that includes the US. Even though there's tariffs sending it to the US, yeah, it's still going to be 79 US. And the US dollar has actually collapsed quite a bit compared to when I started selling these. But that's okay. You take your ups and downs, and we're just going to leave it at 79. Let's see. I was full wave. Oh, you're full wave. Oh, right. Okay. Let's see. And yeah, it's great really great to finally be here. I might still just keep printing my own adapters. Although I might get someone to do them commercially. There's the fellow who does the USB-C cases. He could probably also print these for me with the same printer. It's a good quality printer that he's using. But there's no real reason that I can't keep printing them. As long as I keep my filament dry, then they don't look too bad. And of course, I'll just put the STL file, the STL file, so you can print your own as well. A few revisions were fixing errors. There was one or two where I had routed things wrong and it was all shorted together. That was completely undesirable. But yeah, it happens. A long journey, definitely, yeah. Alright then, well, I think we'll stop at that, and I will go, I'll take some photos of this or something and put it up on the shop site. I only have 10 boards. I think that will cover me. I'll probably put 6 up for sale, maybe 8, I don't know. I'll see what I can do. I need more heat sinks though, so I might end up having to steal heat sinks from old models that I never end up selling and transplant them across. So yeah, this will be a very limited batch. I will get more of these, exactly this variation done, but they won't get here for a couple of weeks at least. Alright, so you all have a good last day of the year, and I will see you next year, perhaps on another stream. Until then, you'll take care. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it, and have a good New Year's. Don't get too drunk. I won't. I'll be asleep by midnight. Definitely will be fine. I'll be up and ready to go first day of the new year. I hope you are too. Take care. See you later.